Hello everyone, and assalamu alaikum guys. Welcome back to 3 a.m. Alive. I hope wherever you are, you're safe, happy, and in good health. May Allah bless you with happiness, a long life, and may He never let you be in need of anyone. May Allah relieve the worries of those who are troubled, grant health to those who are sick, and forgive and bless those who have left this world. Ameen. And please remember me in your prayers as well. I'm Shamoon, and today I'm narrating 4 real creepy and paranormal stories that actually happened to people. These aren't made-up tales, these are experiences people have bravely shared on Reddit. Some of these stories will make your skin crawl. Some will make you question what's real. So turn off the lights, put on your headphones, and get ready to experience the truly bizarre and terrifying. Let's move towards our first real Reddit school story. Story 1. The School Lockdown and the Screaming Man. This is something you guys have been requesting the hell out of for a long time. It took a lot of time, but I finally found these stories that take place during school lockdowns. It was a typical boring day in calculus, only it was Friday, 7th period, meaning the week was almost over and spring break would finally be upon us. Everybody was getting antsy in their seats. We didn't have a test that day, so our teacher decided to start playing games with us on sporkle.com. He was a very laid-back teacher like that. As we were doing some brand logo quiz, I remember the exact moment it happened. Right after my friend answered a question, Adidas the dean's voice came through the loudspeaker. He sounded panicked and frantic as he told all the teachers this was not a drill, and to go into lockdown. I got chills. Even our teacher, who was usually so laid back, looked panicked as he ran to turn off the lights and ushered us to the back corner of the room. The room went dead silent. You could hear every single breath, every chair squeak. Even the sound of someone shifting their feet felt deafening. Nobody dared to speak. It felt like we were frozen in place. A few minutes later, we heard a man screaming at the top of his lungs coming down the hallway. 2 girls in the class started crying. The screaming got closer, and then we heard him banging on lockers, yelling, "I'll kill all of you." My teacher shushed us. The banging then moved to our classroom door. One of the crying girls screamed, "No!" The man started pounding harder and harder, screaming, "Open up!" It felt like an eternity before he finally continued down the hallway, screaming until we couldn't hear him anymore. Nobody moved. Even after he was gone, we just sat there, afraid he might come back. I could feel my heart pounding so hard I thought it would give me away. 10 minutes later, the dean came back on the loudspeaker and explained that a mentally unstable man had entered the school and assaulted the woman at the front desk. They weren't sure if he was armed. The scariest part? Later that night, the janitor found the man asleep in a storage closet. Sticking out of his pocket was a .44 Magnum. When the police arrived, he was gone. For weeks after, every creak of the hallway lockers made me flinch. Even walking to class felt like a risk. That day changed the way I saw my school forever. Alright, let's move on to our second story. Story 2. The Barricaded Man. My school has 2 lunch periods. First lunch for 6th graders and some 7th graders. Second lunch for the rest. The lockdown happened in early October. During first lunch, I heard 4 loud booms. At first, I thought it was thunder, but then everyone started screaming. Campus security ran in, yelling at everyone to get inside the multi-purpose room. When we got inside, they started covering the glass walls with curtains and guarded every exit. My friend Eric asked what was happening. He came back and told us there was a mentally unstable man who had barricaded himself in his house across from the school. He was threatening to kill the cops if they evicted him, and he had been watching kids from his window. The room was packed with kids, some crying, some whispering, some just staring at the floor. The air felt heavy, like everyone was holding their breath at the same time. Even the adults looked worried, and that's when I realized this was serious. We were stuck in that room for over an hour. Later, I found out he was a registered sex offender. Even worse, my friend Brandy said last Halloween she saw him at the window cutting his arm and writing, "Don't come here or I'll kill you," on the glass in blood. When we were finally escorted back to class, the whole school felt different. Nobody laughed, nobody joked. It was like we had all just survived something really dark. Even now, every time I pass those houses near the school, I look at the windows half expecting to see him there again. And now we're heading into our third story. Story 3, The Man in the Basement. I'm 22 years old, fresh out of college, and working at my old high school as a computer intern in the basement. One day, I got a call from the front office. The school was on lockdown. I turned off the lights, sat quietly, and waited. 20 minutes later, I heard the basement door open. Footsteps came running down the stairs and into my office. I hid under my desk, terrified. My phone dinged a text from my coworker. "Dude, this is crazy. Some guy with a gun shot Mr. Buckley. He's wearing a red shirt and hat. Whatever you do, don't come upstairs." I looked up and saw the man. Red shirt, red hat. He asked me if there was an exit down there. Before I could answer, I ran. A gunshot echoed through the basement. Thank God it missed. I made it upstairs where police were waiting, and they caught him at the basement door. Is less than #0. 3# is greater than. After everything was over, I sat in the office shaking, trying to process what had just happened. The school felt eerily quiet, like it was holding its breath with me. I still think about what would have happened if my phone hadn't gone off. If I hadn't seen that text, maybe I wouldn't be here to tell this story. And now we're heading into our fourth and final story. Story 4, The Shadow in the Gym. It was a Wednesday afternoon, right in the middle of PE class. We were playing basketball in the gym when the principal's voice came over the loudspeaker. "Teachers, this is a code red lockdown. This is not a drill. Secure your students immediately." Our coach yelled for us to drop everything and get into the storage closet next to the gym. There were at least 30 of us crammed inside shoulder to shoulder, pressed up against gym mats and basketballs. At first, everyone was whispering and trying to figure out what was going on. Then we heard it. The gym doors slammed shut. And then, footsteps. Slow, deliberate footsteps on the squeaky gym floor. Whoever it was, they weren't running. They were just walking, like they had all the time in the world. One of the kids next to me started quietly crying, and the coach covered his mouth to keep him quiet. Then, the scariest part, we heard the sound of the basketballs rolling across the floor. Someone was kicking them. One by one, the bouncing stopped, until there was silence again. A shadow appeared under the crack of the storage room door. Whoever it was stood there for a good 10 seconds, just breathing. Then, slowly, they rattled the doorknob. No one moved. No one breathed. The rattling stopped, and the footsteps moved away, out of the gym. When the all clear was finally called, nearly 40 minutes later, we came out to find the gym completely empty, but the basketballs were scattered everywhere. Later, we learned that an intruder had entered through the back door of the school and was seen walking around the halls before police arrived. Even today, whenever I hear a basketball bounce in an empty gym, my stomach drops. I can still see that shadow under the door in my head. Those stories were intense, weren't they? I want to hear from you. Have you ever experienced anything creepy at school? If you have a scary story to share, send it to my email and I might narrate it in a future video. If you enjoyed these stories, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a spine-chilling tale from 3 a.m. Alive. Stay curious, stay aware, and remember the world is not always as quiet as it seems. I'm Shamoon, and I'll see you in the next video.